It is Alec coming back to you in the shop with the Turbo GMC with another video. We are kind of doing a compilation of a couple days worth of work because I wanted to update you guys, but also the single topics or the couple topics I'm going to talk about today weren't really enough to make a whole video. So I'm going to flip you around, but thank you so much for being here. If you like turbos, you like V8s, and you like power sports, hit the subscribe button, please. Alrighty guys, well sorry that I didn't make a whole video on this. I kind of think you guys are getting bored of watching me tear this thing apart and look at it and stare at it and talk about it. But trans back out of the truck because we had an awful rear main seal leak. You can see a rear main seal right there. And we just put a new rear main seal in, made sure the cover was centered, and got a new seal in. We just ran it for about 2 minutes up on the lift, and we do not currently have a leak. So I'm going to go run to the parts store, grab some new flex plate bolts because I don't have any and these are torque to yield. And we're going to throw trans back in this guy. All right, so since I saw you last time, Turbo GMC has had a couple things done to it. We are complete with fixing the rear main seal. It was leaking around the outer edge, not the piece that rides on the crankshaft, which is a little strange. Hopefully we got it fixed. We did test run it before putting the transmission in for about a minute or so. No leaks there, so hopefully it just stays that way. And then the other big thing that we got done, about half day worth of work or so, you can see we now have a full interior. We have a full dash, no more rusty metal bracing hanging down below. Everything is pretty much working. We still have work to do on that side with door panel, getting the power windows to work. This side is pretty much complete. The door panel is in fairly good shape. We just need a switch for this side. So it's coming along on the interior. It looks much better than what it was before. And so with the rear main seal and the interior, we only got a couple things left on our to-do board over here. And one of them we're gonna get done today right now. Before it goes to the tuner, I want to get a hood on it just in case it ends up staying with him more than a day. I don't want him to be worried about pulling this thing in if it's going to rain or something like that. So unfortunately, saying unfortunately because I don't have a black hood for it, but I have this white hood from the original truck. It's in okay shape. I just threw some clay bar onto it really quick to try and shine it up a little bit. It was covered in like iron fallout. I don't think this thing ever got washed. It was pretty nasty, but a couple passes with the clay bar, it's fairly smooth and it's going to take a wrap really well because we will end up wrapping this just to match the rest of the truck. So here's the hood. We're going to get this thrown on, and then we got to cut a hole for a wastegate. I do want to mention one of the other things that I got done. I was up here looking at kind of the hood situation, and I remembered we have a new idler pulley or tensioner pulley. We have a new idler pulley and a brand new belt on the front of this. The good thing about turbo vehicles, they don't like to eat belts like supercharged vehicles. Accessories on the front, water pump's brand new. That alternator is pretty good. Power steering pump's brand new. So this thing should be ready to rock, not make any chirping noises from the front end anymore. Now we're going to throw the hood on this thing. No turning back from this one. Alrighty, well, here's a moment of truth. I just drilled a hole in the hood. I think I got it lined up, and hopefully this closes down. Ooh, oh shit. It just barely tickles back. We got it too wide on the front. Well, I got the hood to sit down. We just need to do a small amount of clearancing in the back, probably with a deburring bit. It's not too bad. It's definitely a little oblong, a little proud in the front. It's not the end of the world with it being, pipe is smaller, so you can't really tell that that gap in the front is that big. So I'm gonna clean that up. We're gonna get this baby locked in here. Well, we got the hood on, of course, settled in where it kind of should be. The only thing I got to tighten up is this fender. Needs to come over just a little bit, squeeze up that gap. The gap on this side is looking really good. Oh, wastegate out the dome, straight out the dome piece. I like it. I do kind of wish I would have said, hey, it's coming down at an angle, set it about a 1/4 inch further back, and I would have nailed it the first time. Not a huge deal. It just kind of looks like it's got a nice little lead up to it now. So pretty happy with it. It's exactly what I wanted. I wanted it to come out the hood. I want it to be kind of a talking piece, a little teaser of what's underneath, and I think I got that. So we're going to see you next when we're picking the truck up from the exhaust place. Alrighty guys, well, we just got the exhaust done, and I gotta say, truck is so much more quiet inside the cab. A lot more manageable than what it was before. You guys can kind of hear it. Yeah, that's a lot better. It's a little loud outside, which is exactly the way I wanted it, but once we get up here, we're doing about 53, 54 right now. And converter's locked. She is happy. And my ears are happy too. So I'll get some video of this thing from the outside. Here we are with the truck. Man, this thing is quiet on this side. There she is. So decided to go with the pre-tire side exit. I think it looks pretty good. Pretty happy with it. Flush. Oh yeah. So it's a couple days later, we got the exhaust done, and I have driven the truck about another 20 miles or so, taking it to the exhaust shop, bringing it back to my house, bringing it back here. And so far, everything looks pretty dang good with the rear main seal repair. We have a very tiny amount of oil right here, which I'm not exactly sure where that's coming from, but this is relatively dry. So I'm really happy with that. It seems like the rear main seal is holding its own, which I really like to see. And the only bad thing is we do seem to have a tiny little coolant leak potentially from the heater core hoses, which is a normal thing on these. That's not a huge deal. Coolant leaks do not scare me nearly as much as oil leaks and starting on fire, if you know what I mean. So I want to show you just real quick. This is the exhaust on the truck. So basically I told him I wanted it to be able to be taken apart. So what he did was he threw this, what he called a semi-clamp on here, but just a band clamp. And he expanded this piece of pipe over so that there's about 3 to 4 inches of overlap here. And then this clamp is just kind of holding the two of them together. So this pretty much should not leak, and it's fairly easy to take apart if I need to. It's 3.5. He did have to squeeze it down a little bit and oval it just so that he could get it over the torsion bar mount. And then you can see we got kind of a 90 almost, and then it's going straight out the side. And he threw a little stainless tip on there for us too. So pretty happy with how he did it, how he mounted it. And I think it's literally basically not moving at all. It's got just a little bit of flex where it needs it, but it's not moving. So I'm really happy with the way that it turned out on the truck. Of course, I would prefer that I TIG welded this myself and there weren't, These aren't necessarily bad welds, but they could be better. But at the same time, as long as they seal, they're under the truck, they're going to get really gross looking from just exhaust. Ends up not looking so good underneath the vehicle. And overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it sounds fairly good for a turbo vehicle. It does kind of have what I'd call the clap.
Just a little burning during urination.
Down low, like 2,000 RPMs or so, which isn't necessarily my favorite thing, but honestly, what you give up down low with the clap,
gonorrhea,
you get a little bit better up top and it sounds better. You get more turbo whistle. If I wanted to put a muffler on it, I really kind of could, but I don't want to, with this basically being the only room I have for a muffler, because you're not going to put one right here. So overall, I think I like it. I think I'm pretty happy with it. And maybe in the future, we'll change it up a little bit. But for now, this will work great. And the inside is so much more quiet than what it was before. So overall, pretty happy with it. Truck seems to be doing pretty good. And we just got a couple small bugs to work out. This thing's going to tuning really soon. And we're going to rip the crap out of this thing once it's done. With all that being said, I really appreciate everyone watching the recent video on the Spark, recent video on the oil catch cans, and just staying along for this project. We are so close to the light at the end of the tunnel. So until I see you guys next time, I really appreciate watching. Please leave a subscribe and a like if you could, and see you later. Peace.